Welcome dear students to today's session. We are moving on to Newton's third law of motion. A very interesting law. Newton's third law of motion states that to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction and they act on two different bodies. Now to prove this we can do a very simple activity. We have to take two spring balance A and B, connect them together as shown in the picture, and fix one of the spring balance to a rigid support like a wall or a, a wooden block or something like that. When you pull the spring balance A, you will notice that both the spring balance show the same reading. When you apply a force on the free end of spring balance A, it is noticed that both the spring balance shows the same readings. This shows that the force exerted by spring balance A on B is equal but in the opposite direction to the force exerted by spring balance B on A. So, the force exerted by spring balance A on B is action and the reverse force exerted by spring balance B on A is the reaction. So, this is a very simple experiment which proves Newton's third law of motion. Let us see some of the examples which can be explained with this Newton's third law. When a bullet is fired from a gun, it exerts a forward force action on the bullet, and the bullet exerts an equal and opposite force on the gun, which is called reaction. And due to this, the gun recoils. You have to hold the gun very tight uh, to retain the gun in your hand, otherwise, it will fall backwards. Another example is when a sailor jumps out of a boat. He exerts a backward force on the boat, which is the action, and the boat exerts an equal and opposite force on the sailor, which is reaction, and the sailor is able to reach his destination. So this is another beautiful example of Newton's third law of motion. Let us see some more. When an air-filled balloon is released, the force of air coming out of the balloon, action, exerts an equal and opposite force on the balloon, reaction, and it moves upwards, or if it is directed on a thread, it moves sideways. So this is another activity with which you can prove Newton's third law of motion. When a rocket is fired, the force of the burning gas that comes out, action, exerts an equal and opposite force on the rocket, reaction, and it moves upwards. So these are some of the common examples of Newton's third law of motion, which proves that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and both action and reaction are exerted on two different bodies. So with that we end today's session. Next session we'll be doing law of conservation of momentum and numericals associated with that. Thank you.